Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
There we go.
There we go. Go! Big red indeed. No block, no rock. In season 5, post-bye week that we did not lose. I think we won this bye week, guys.
We'll talk about why we won.
Oh, yeah.
Frickin' A. But before we get into all that, pickle fight from the Nebraska Brewing Company, locally owned. This pickle fight is delicious. Thank you, Connor, for making this pickle fight personally.
Connor doesn't make shit.
Yeah, he does.
I work there. Yeah, I don't make the liquid.
You don't make the magic?
No, I don't. Shout out to Tony Munch and Tyson Arp. They're the guys that do that.
Tony, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, that's not me.
All right,
So.
Mike, what do you got?
I've got the EOS Hefeweizen. It's a great beer. This is my third different beer I've had tonight. I've had EOS, Ailstorm, and Quick for Brains. Yeah, we're on one today. There you go.
I see that.
On one today.
I'm going to shock everyone. I am yet again drinking the Pilsner. This time it's a victory beer because of, the stuff we're going to talk about today. But yeah, Kyle Byers, what do you got over there?
Mike and I got here fairly early, so we're just kind of stacking them up over here. I've got Squeeze of the Day and EOS Hefeweizen. Those are my two favorite beers that you guys have to offer. It's been a long time since I've had the Taco Beza.
It has.
I sometimes I miss it, but these two are just as good. So that's where I'm at.
Beautiful. Special guest, former Nebraska running back, Anthony Grant. First of all, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you taking the time out. You're just drinking water.
Yeah.
You're sticking with the water.
Yeah, you gotta keep it clean.
Yeah, keep it clean on here.
Clean.
Yeah, that's
Keep
all right.
keep everything clean.
We will drink the beers for you.
Yeah.
He's being responsible, drinking water.
See that?
So
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's one thing we're good at, it's not keeping things clean. So thank God there's one of us.
Yes, you make up for
we
all of our
appreciate that.
you make up for all of our hooliganism.
Uh,
You'll see. Don't worry, you'll see. Hey, Connor, help me out. World class.
In every glass.
Okay.
before we get into it, just want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Caniglias and Mano, for the best pizza in Omaha. They delivered 3 different pizzas today: spicy barbecue chicken, the pepperoni with minced garlic, and the chicken garlic parm.
Woo.
All amazing pizzas. Anthony
Fire.
came in here. He's like, "Dude, this pizza is really good." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the best pizza in Omaha." So
Seriously, we didn't tell him to say that. He said, "Damn, where's this pizza from?"
yeah, it is,
This is good.
really good. So shout out to Caniglias and Mano. Make sure you guys go check that out in Papillion, Nebraska.
And you got that spicy barbecue chicken, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty. It hit the spot pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Get
It
you warmed up.
Help with a nice
Pretty
long
good.
drive.
Yeah. Okay, you
Most
guys.
definitely.
Today, unprecedented. We wanted change and we got it. We were demanding it. We got it.
Did something happen?
Something happened. Dana Holgerson has now been called to play. Or I'm sorry, let me start that over again.
To play.
Dana
He has
Holgerson
been-
at wide receiver.
Yes.
That's a bad idea.
Well, can he block? Can he block? Can Dana Holgerson block? That's the problem. That's the freaking issue here. He's calling plays. Sat has been, hey, go coach tight ends. Thank you for your service. Kyle, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Right?
Thank you.
That is my American soldier.
That's it.
Yep. We love you.
Guys, I just want to know, how you feeling about this? How you feeling?
Let's start with our special guest, Anthony. So they make a drastic coaching change, coordinator change in the middle of the season. I guess at your time in Nebraska, they kind of made some big changes. Your first year at Nebraska, what is it like in the locker room when they make a big change like this?
I mean, it's kind of like, kind of goes like two ways. Like, like when you deal with it, like you deal with, also the loss of, someone that, maybe you started with, or, was, the person that, you've been around the whole time to like, getting a whole new coach. So I feel like, when it gets like that, like it's like, it's so many ways that you can go about it. But, as an athlete, you just gotta, keep your head down, and, hope that it's the best thing. And, for the program and for, everybody of Nebraska, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when you get down to it, like, what I'm saying, it's about, what's the best thing for Nebraska. But I feel like, it's probably some people that's sad, but also, things we're going the right way for us. So, what I'm saying? I feel like, some people are, probably happy to see, that happen and things like that.
Yeah. One of those things you got to kind of take it in stride, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of one of those things. It's like you're kind of ripping the Band-Aid off where people in the locker room might know, like, Sat's probably not calling the plays next year anyways. Maybe this will give us that extra jolt we need to, or the excitement. I know this happened kind of when Mickey was at Nebraska, kind of add like an extra flair in the locker room where they went out and played a little different, had a little extra swagger to them, and maybe that'll do it for the offense. So Nebraska needs a little kick in the butt to get one more win to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
One more win. Matt Rule was very listen, man. That presser today, it's very, very obvious that this move. Well, I think we can say that it's a desperate move, right? He's been feeling the walls close in. It's year 2, but even still, the noise outside is getting chirpier, right? And so some people are going to go, this is desperate, and this reeks of desperation. But I feel like this is something that needed to happen for sure.
Yeah, I disagree with desperate.
I was going to say 2 parts to this. One, I don't disagree with Jared here. It is a desperate measure, but we're also in kind of desperate times.
We are.
We need a bowl win.
We need a bowl.
We need a bowl game, not even a bowl win. We need to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years since we've been there, so I'm not afraid of calling it desperate. But the one thing that I noticed is Coach Rule looked uncomfortable, to the point where I was like, "Is there someone with a gun off screen here that's like pointing right at it?" Like it didn't feel like it almost felt forced. Like this move was not something he was looking to do, but felt like it had to be done. Which I don't think there's a Husker fan out there that is saying that this didn't have to be done. And I respect them for keeping Sat on staff.
Well, I respect Sat for staying on staff.
Yeah. I mean, that was up to him. He could have walked and just moved on, but he wants to do anything in his power to help this program win. So, like, to me, that just talks about the man who he is. So,
yeah, so
I'm all for that.
I think Marcus Satterfield can contribute a lot as a tight end coach. I think he can. I think OC was not the right position for him, and I think he helped prove that point. What I am most concerned about, and I know we talked about this a little bit before the episode started, is we've not been great about establishing the run, which a great time to have Anthony Grant in the studio with us.
Hey.
We've not been great about establishing a run, and now we've got Holgerson at OC calling the plays, who, it's time to, I sent you guys the picture earlier. It's learn air raid, buddy.
Learn air raid.
And so I think as long as I think Holgerson's a competent guy, as long as we can emphasize that run a little bit more and do it a bit more consistently, I think this can work.
With 3 games left, dude, that's all I'm asking for you right now. 3 games, get us a freaking win. In these next 3 games, can we just get one more score? Because that's all we lose by is one freaking score most of the time. Can you just get us one more score in any of these next 3 games? So from that standpoint, I'm on board. Going into 2025 is where I will be a little more I'm not so sure about this, because it sure feels like it'd be kind of a butting kind of heads kind of thing, right? But right now, for what you need in these 3 games, you had to make a change. how could it get any worse, right? That's the thing that's been going around. How could it get any worse?
You can lose with them. You can definitely lose without them. You know,
Sure.
It's the same way. I think that Matt Rule had no choice. It's either I could go to Glenn Thomas, but it's going to be a lot of the same. Glenn Thomas kind of helps prepare the playbook and prepare everything that's happening on game day. Who says that he wasn't already helping call plays? Who knows? But it's one of those things like, yeah, I can win with you. I can win without you. I can lose with you. I can lose without you. So
going into these next 3 games, and let's just tackle USC. Okay. That's the next one. What will you be looking for out of this offense to where it's clear that, yes, this is Holgorsen and not Sat? Like, what are you looking for from this offense?
I have no idea.
What's the goal? You know what I mean? Besides just scoring by any means necessary, what about this offense needs to be clear that it's better?
2 words. Crossing routes. Crossing routes. Like we get this pressure through the middle, which I know Sam Hahn had some words for. I think it was Mike.
That was for me.
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone today.
About that, the pressure coming through the middle,
Yeah.
which you're not wrong in saying that there is pressure coming through the middle.
Yeah.
Crossing routes. You can fix this. I mean, if we're easily exploited, there's easy ways to exploit what they're bringing. And so I know that's not really Holgorsen's deal, but again, he's a competent guy. Like he's a good play caller, and I think he's going to be able to see that. And dear God, I just don't want to see what was it, 11 swing/screens against Ohio State.
I don't care if they run swings or screens. If it's going to work, you got to block, man. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying you can't run those. I'm saying I don't want to see 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm saying.
Anthony, what do you think about the perimeter blocking at Nebraska right now? Like this, I mean, you're on the No Block No Rock podcast. I mean, what does No Block No Rock mean to somebody who plays the running back position?
You said no block, no rock.
Yeah,
indeed.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, Ron Brown coached you. I mean,
shoot.
come on, you got to know a little something,
yeah.
something about it.
Yeah.
pass pro. Come on.
I had to realize what it meant, but nah. I mean, shoot. If you don't block in football, then you know what I'm saying, you don't deserve the rock. Like if you don't know how to, initiate that contact and be selfless for your brother and for the game, then why deserve the ball if you can't block?
Yeah,
clip it.
Bingo.
There it is.
Bingo.
There's
the definition for you.
It's the epitome of what we talk about here.
Right. No, I think that's one of those things.
And I think for me, like moving into these next 3 games, what I want to know, Anthony, is like from a running back's perspective, something that we have seen kind of happening throughout the year is the running back room seems to really love just making contact and there's not a good balance of like, hey, when do I need to evade and when do I just need to run straight through somebody? And we talked about it right before we went live, which was the Rutgers run that you had like right after halftime. You basically murdered a man on the sidelines. So like what's the balance there? But like, what does the decision making look like for when do I need to make contact and just make a point, and when do I just need to try to evade?
Oh no, I believe I'm like a firm believer in whooping the team from the jump. You know what I'm saying? If you beat a team from the jump, if you beat your man, 90 95% of the time, 9% of the time, like there's nothing he's gonna be able to do with you like later on in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like from an early basis, like what I'm saying, going out there and like from a beginning standpoint, like if you go out there and you're putting that thing on them and things like that, like what I'm saying, they're not going to want to tackle you no more. You're going to have more things to do when you separate into that second level, like
people start making business decisions later on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it turned into kind of a mental thing where they're like, oh shit, here comes this dude.
Here comes big number 23 / number 10 coming at me. I'm good.
I mean, I'm in the middle again. Oh shit.
He had to put the slash in there.
Yeah. We talk about winning hearts and minds. He's out here just destroying minds. He's like, no, I'm good.
Hey, come on now. He was a joystick too, though. Like people talk about Anthony. You made guys miss.
Oh yeah.
Like, what did you prefer more? Did you prefer running through somebody or just breaking his ankles and moving on? Like, what was kind of your style?
On the real, like I feel like my style. I feel like I'm so much of like, a balanced running back. Like I'm able to do like I'm able to run like over someone or, you know what I'm saying, make a miss. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, growing up, like I was always the type to, you know, try to run through somebody and things like that. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just love the satisfaction of, you know, like making some, you know what I'm saying, making somebody miss and, you know, breaking tackles like that and running through somebody. Like, you know, whenever you do that, like, you know, that's you know, that's everything for a running back. You know what I'm saying? That's the real deal victory right there. You know what I'm saying? When you're able to do somebody like that. So
That is the coolest running back answer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm balanced. I
Yeah.
don't care what it is.
He's like, would you rather make somebody miss or hit him? And he's like, both.
Yeah.
That's the coolest running back answer I've ever heard.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So you know a lot of guys in this running back room that's on the team right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you think could be done to maybe give a jolt to the run game in these last 3 games? Like, or is it kind of like it goes into play calling, finding a seam? Like, what do you think they could do to maybe help give the run game a little help?
I'll say finish runs. Like, you know, don't get too overwhelmed about, you know, breaking a run and getting caught and things like that. And, you know what I'm saying, fumbling the ball and, you know what I'm saying, just don't second guess. Like, you know what I'm saying? You've been a running back your whole life. You know what I'm saying? You know what it takes to, you know what I'm saying, to
Trust your training, right?
yeah, like trust your training at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what it feel like to, you know, be in your element and, you know what I'm saying, and balling. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just gotta, you know, keep everybody together, you know what I'm saying, keep everybody on the same page and, you know what I'm saying, like do it as a unity, you know what I'm saying? Even if that's cheering, you know, somebody on, you know what I'm saying? All that comes into play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever, like, when you got the ball and you see these gaps open up, was there ever a thought, or was it just that, like, I'm going to fall back on my training, I know what I'm doing, you got a clear head? Or were you thinking about all this stuff, like I might have a defender coming in from my right side? Or was it just, I'm going to run the ball because I'm Anthony Grant and I'm going to run it through you?
Shoot, I mean, for the most part, it was, I mean, I feel like it was more, you know what I'm saying? I knew what I had to do, you know what I'm saying? I knew my reads, you know what I'm saying? That was everything. You know what I'm saying? I knew I had to run the ball. So, you know what I'm saying? I was just, you know, I was really just focusing on running the ball for the most part. And you know what I'm saying? And doing what I was doing. Like,
Do
you
your
know what I'm
job.
saying? Yeah.
Well, and just kind of, I want to stick on this kind of this theme of having confidence. And, you know, we go back to that Rutgers run. And I know that's the run that everybody talks about with you. But I think it's indicative of how much this Nebraska football program for the last, we'll just say 10 years, has been very much a vibes program. When things are going well, it's great, right? And like your run, even though Nebraska was losing, it set the tone, right? And it opened the door to, damn right, like we're here, we're rolling, we have confidence. And so I guess I'll ask you, because that's kind of the thing that stands out with this team, is just when it feels like things aren't going well, it's kind of an avalanche. And it's just one thing after another. And like, did you ever feel that way? Like, is it a very real thing playing here at Nebraska where when one thing goes wrong, it's here we go again, that whole thing? Did that ever come up at all with you or anyone else in the locker room, the coaching staff?
I mean, I feel like there's still some of that was in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would feel some of the energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know what it is. Everybody know what the deal is with, you know what I'm saying, Nebraska football and things like that. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like I don't think, you know, people want to feel that feeling, but it's just like whenever, you know, that you know, tiny bit of, insecurity or like
Adversity?
yeah, like, you know, knowing they're gonna have to face adversity, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like everybody in Nebraska soft, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you know, it is that, you know, it is that burden, like, you know what I'm saying, on Nebraska sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And
Sure.
you do feel it sometimes, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like y'all said, like that run that I had, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta fight through any, insecurity, adversity, you know what I'm saying? Like, fear, and just, run through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying? Put all the nonsense away, put all the, the bull stuff away, and you know what I'm saying? Do what you ultimately want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do what's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, help us win. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff.
Well, and you played at two big boy programs. I mean, you started your career at Florida State and came to Nebraska, where I would say those are two blue blood programs. Like, they all have kind of the same thing, where it's like, we're a blue blood program because we've won a lot of games. There's a lot of pressure. Like, when you play in a pressure cooker in a blue blood program, like, there's high expectations, and that stuff's going to happen naturally. So I guess it's kind of tough seeing a team that sometimes struggles with adversity. Like that's what you signed up for, in my opinion. Like, maybe I'm totally off base, but like if you go to Nebraska, you know that you're going to play. You're going to go there and you're going to play for 90,000 fans, and you get the good and the bad. You get all the clout in the world on social media. Like, you're going to get all the following. You're going to get all the love, like, when you get here. But like, when things go bad, you get also that side of it too, which is not great either, obviously. But that's where it's at all big boy programs. Like, it's tough.
Right.
Yeah. So we routinely refer to Nebraska football as a fishbowl, because you guys are stuck in the middle of this bowl with, 90,000 in the stadium, hundreds of thousands of fans.
No NFL teams, no nothing. You're the only show in town.
So, like, what's that like? Was it different than Florida State? And like, how did you kind of deal with like all of this attention all at one time? Like, was that hard for you, or did you kind of just set it aside and say, I'm out here to run the ball? That's what I'm here to do.
I mean, anytime playing in front of, 90,000, fans, and, you know what I'm saying, people that celebrate you and are, you know what I'm saying, there, specifically for you, like, that's a big task. And, you know what I'm saying, that can get, that can have you have the heebie-jeebies or second guessing yourself.
Seeing ghosts.
Stuff like that. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's all in the process. Like, from when you were a young kid to, you being a young adult, to you being a, you know what I'm saying, a grown college athlete. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just you overcoming your fear, doing what you always wanted to do, and becoming a college athlete, like, and becoming a, pro. Like, it's just all a part of the process. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna lose, you're gonna fail, you're gonna have mess ups. It's about how you respond. It's about how you are resiliently, you know what I'm saying, coming back, to the fight, regardless of what done happened, or what, you done stuck your foot in. You know what I'm saying? It's about, keeping it pushing, keeping it going, and, you know what I'm saying, and, keep coming along, like, along, the journey and things like that. Like, I feel like, it's all a part of the fight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think sometimes these players, they need to know you're here for a reason, right? You're good. You're good enough. You're worthy. And I think sometimes these players need to be told that, like, you belong here. And look, and yes, like you said, you're gonna make mistakes and all that. We're not unreasonable here, right? Like, you are worthy. Okay, you're good enough. And I think sometimes these players need to be told that.
Yeah,
they need that reassurance. You can do this. Let's go.
I think that is the best piece of advice that I've ever heard given. Like, I want to talk to one of you, like, 18, 19, 20-year-old athletes, and I want to just play that clip for them, what you just said. It's beautiful. Right. And I'm sure it's easier to see on the back end. I'm sure it's not easy when you're in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's beautiful.
Well, and like, going back to the fishbowl thing, and I'm kind of going back to the Holgorsen thing a little bit, is you see Dylan, and fishbowl. It looks like he's kind of swimming in it a little bit, right? Like there's a lot of things to keep track of, right? Etc. And I think what I'll be looking for with Holgorsen calling plays is we were talking about this huge menu that Nebraska has.
Right.
Hey, what are you getting to drink? What's your appetizer? What's your entree? What's your dessert? It's like, hey, Holgorsen, come here. Let's look at our appetizers. Let's just stick with the appetizers. Okay, let's not worry about what we're getting for dessert, right? Let's simplify this thing. Quick hitters, right? Keep things as simple as we can. And try to make things not as complicated for Dylan. I think there's a lot of things he's dealing with right now. We saw this coming, just like every other sensible Nebraska fan did. This is the first time he's ever played at this level. And what you've seen this past month is just a guy who's not very confident, maybe a little bit injured, right? That plays some part. And that's just what I'll be looking for is like a simplicity and just like not getting bogged down.
Sorry, Kyle, go on.
I was just going to say we've got a super chat in here for $4.99 from the BA Coaches Show. Appreciate you.
Shout out, BA.
He says, do you guys think the fan base's angst and anger helped make this happen now as opposed to after the season? If people were calm, does this happen?
I don't think that the fan base put the pressure on Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule is an adult. He's a CEO. I think what happened in this situation is what Matt Rule said today in his press conference, where Matt Rule tried everything that he thought would work to fix this offense, and it didn't work. So he's seeking outside help. And I think he knew that how important it is to get this amazing sixth win would be great for this program just to get the extra practices and everything else that comes with it. I just think that there is the pressure that is that sixth win, but I think there's also the fact that Matt Rule's like, okay, we're almost 2 years in. I've got 3 games left. I think we need to, everything I've tried isn't working. Me, Sat, and Glenn Thomas, we're all on the same wavelength. We all coach the same. We have the same philosophy. Let's bring in a guy who has a different philosophy because it's an outside eyes. He has a better look at maybe what's going wrong.
Mike, I disagree.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
Why?
Because I think Matt Rule was watching our Cornhusker counseling episode and he said, they're right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, I certainly hope it wasn't the fans that drove him to that.
No,
God, I hope not. Because,
definitely not.
Because if we have a coach that just listens to us
That's a bad idea.
and our bullshit,
Don't listen to us.
you ain't going to be here long.
Don't listen to us.
Don't listen to us, man. Even though we were right. Connor, go.
I think I would compare this to, and this is totally hypothetical. You get like an interception that you take to the 7-yard line. Like you're right there. You're 7 yards away from a touchdown. And Matt Rule had run 2 runs. But suddenly he had someone in his ear, the fans. Tell him like, hey, dumbass, maybe try a pass. I don't think the fans made this happen. I think they helped it. I think Matt Rule was going to make this decision no matter what. But the pressure from the fans helped kind of move it across that goal line. I think that's what it was. It was going to happen no matter what, but maybe it happened a little bit sooner because I don't think I can name a Husker fan that was pleased with Satterfield.
Dude,
I don't think I could name one.
Yeah.
And so I think it was going to happen no matter what. But
I mean, you played for Sat. Like, was it any different than any other offensive coordinator you played for? And you guys obviously it was a little bit tricky for you last year because you were down to your third-string quarterback. You had Heinrich, who was maybe more of a runner than a passer. Like, obviously dealt kind of a crappy hand. But, like, I mean, you played for Sat. Like, what are your opinions on, like, his philosophies and, like, maybe how they execute things? Like,
I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I didn't, you know, I'm a player of, like, you know, I love, like, you know, the concepts and things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything has, like, a original purpose and things like that. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't too much, like, worried about, you know, Sat. Like, I mean, he played a big, like, he's an OC. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how the offense goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Without the OC, like, the offense doesn't go. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Sat, you know, he was him. Like, but, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really have a preference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my preference was, you know, to produce and, you know, effect as an offense. Like, you know, if we can affect as an offense, if we could, you know, move the ball and, you know, at least have an identity as an offense, then like, you know what I'm saying? How could, you know what I'm saying? How could we go wrong? Like, I mean, I did think like, you know, some of his play calls were, you know, were not, you know, exactly what, you know, we wanted, but like it was just like, you know what I'm saying?
Just do what you're called to do.
Right.
I mean,
You
like,
know?
I think so. You're on the mindset of, I mean, we're out there. We have to go make the play. I mean, that's kind of what Matt Rule talked about a couple weeks ago. He's like, hey, look, the offense is Satterfield. So, like, if the players don't go out and they can't get the extra yardage after a run, or they can't finish a run, or a player doesn't catch the ball, like, that's as far as Satterfield can go. And ultimately, you're kind of on the mindset, like, I mean, as an offensive player, or as like a running back, I have to go out and make the play.
Do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the first time, too, where Matt Rule kind of like, normally he's really good at pointing the thumb. He'll always put the blame on himself and self-reflect and figure out like what he could do better. But I think he's at a point now where it's like players got to play. They got to go make one more play. They got to execute. They got to be in the right gaps. They got to be doing all the right things. I think you get to a point too where it's like all this blame is going on Coach Satterfield, and I think some of it is rightfully so, but not all of it. Like I think there is a point where like the players have to make the plays. You have to go block. You have to make you complain about the screen passes, but like if your wide receivers aren't blocking, who's that on? Is that on Satterfield because he's called a screenplay when they're blitzing 8 guys? Like, yeah, you need to go make a play.
Well,
It's tricky.
That's why I love the fact that they didn't fire Sat. Said you can still be useful to this team, just not in that role
For now.
Well,
For now.
and the other thing too is with Rule making this decision and making this move, it is a form of accountability where he's sending a message, right? It's, look, guys, I made this change. I have a sense of urgency. Are you with me? Do you have the same sense of urgency that I do? Because I'm trying to get this 6th dub. Like, I made this change. Let's fucking go. Like, let's go, guys. Because I don't know if you heard last week. I think it was after UCLA or 2 weeks ago, whatever. He said something to the effect of, we're going on this journey and I hope this team is with me. And like, again, that's probably parsing words, but it's like, I hope this team is with me. I hope they're with me. I made this change. What's your fucking excuse now? Let's go. Let's get a freaking win in these last 3 games. I held my coach accountable, you know, and maybe it's because you didn't make some plays. So great fucking job. I made this change. Let's do this. What's your excuse going to be now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 12 minutes left. That went by so fast.
Let's talk about Anthony.
Yeah, I think I want to transition here into Anthony, like your journey to Nebraska and kind of like what your experience there has been. And I kind of want to start this off in reverse. So I want to talk about you. I want to talk with you about your time at Nebraska, and everything that we see from Matt Rule is very genuine and like he's very good at talking to the media. I just want to know like what your relationship was with Coach Rule, and kind of just give us a little like background on him and what you experienced.
What I've experienced from Coach Rule, I've experienced like, him monitoring over like, first I would say like, like him as a person, like I see him as a person that wants to win, a person that's really like, down into the basics of football. Like, you can tell some of the love that he has like from football, like, you know what I'm saying? Like for football, you know what I'm saying? From like how he is and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And just from knowing him and things like that, like I feel like, like he's a good guy. Like, I don't feel like he's a bad guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a cool guy, like for the most part, from like what I see. Like, I don't see, anything that's, really like, awful with the Rule. Like I feel like he's a really, really good coach. Like I feel like he's really like, a coach that, can change the program around. Like, you know what I'm saying? If, everybody comes with him. But like you said, like I feel like that comes with like urgency of like everybody that's on board. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He can't do it by himself. And you kind of see like, him trying to, depict through, the team to see like, what it is that they need to, have that spark, you know what I'm saying? Or, that momentum swing for them to, stay together, like, you know what I'm saying? And win collectively.
Sure. And he certainly seems like somebody that is just going to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and this is not in any way some sort of like, bad thing or anything, but like last year after especially Minnesota, we had heard like he comes out and he says, like, hey guys, need to hold on to the football, or we need to get the turnovers fixed. And he had like mentioned your name and all of that. Like, what are the conversations surrounding that as he's coming to you and he's like, hey man, like here's the situation, here's the deal. And what is that relationship like? What's kind of the situation there?
I mean, honestly, I didn't feel like it was no like relationship or like, feelings towards that. Like, it's football, like, things like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no bad deal between us because I fumbled. Like the dude came behind me without me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even seeing him.
Punched it out.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even see him when he punched like that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the conversation that we had, like, you know what I'm saying? He like when he came to me, like he was just like, like in, moments like that, like, late in the game and things like that, you gotta be, you gotta be aware. Like you gotta be like,
you gotta have your like sixth sense.
Yeah. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be like that focused, that locked in, like, and it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just, it was a unfortunate event.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He like, you know what I'm saying? He critiqued me on it. Like he told me, you know what I'm saying, what he thought and things like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was what it was. Like, I don't think it was an overly bad fumble. Like we had multiple chances after that to win the game.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
You know what I'm saying?
that was the only turnover in that game either.
Right.
No.
There was the ball was a magnet on the ground in that Minnesota game.
Right.
Yeah.
So you bounce back after that fumble for the rest of the season. Like you bounce back pretty well for the rest of the season. Like, what is that like? Was that coaching staff talking to you? Was that Matt Rule talking to you? Or is that again kind of some mental toughness on your end?
Right.
We were like, yeah, no, I know I'm better. Like I can be better, and you got better. Like you played pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, you know what I'm saying? That comes with football. That comes with, me, my reps that I took in practice, my, you know what I'm saying? The way that I worked into it, like the player that I am, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta kind of, take your, your losses, on the chin, and you know what I'm saying, keep moving about it. Like,
Yeah. Learn from it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't really, you know what I'm saying, nothing you can really say. Like, a mistake is bound to happen, every game.
Oh yeah.
A mistake is bound to happen every game. And like, especially when you have the ball in your hands, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like honestly, like, I feel like if I was putting in earlier in that game, because I feel like I had a very good like spark or, take off in the game. But like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was sitting on the sideline, a lot longer than what I was supposed to when, like everybody in Nebraska know what I could do when, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I'm fully loaded in the backfield and I'm ready to go. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, that's
like-
something we've talked about is kind of the rotation of running backs, and we've stated our displeasure. It hasn't been just this year; it's been a thing for the past couple of years where it seems like a guy gets lathered up, right? He gets a gain of 7, and then a gain of 5 or something, and then it's yep. Next,
We
it's like
don't-
what? Why?
We don't establish guys like Anthony to get their rhythm and get going and start running through face masks,
Mhm.
and we just pull them off.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey to Nebraska and kind of like, and then we'll touch on kind of what you're doing now and maybe what your goals are for the future. So you, from Buford, Georgia, went to Florida State and then became the #1 junior college running back. Like, talk a little bit about that, like how that all kind of happened and how you ended up in Lincoln, Nebraska.
So in my journey, like, going JUCO and things like that, like, what I'm saying, I had a lot of doubts. Like, I don't think it was doubts like within myself. It was just doubts like, that surrounded me and things like that. Like, I had to be mentally strong, mentally focused, mentally, willing to do whatever I had to, get back to where, get back to a Power 5 and things like that. Being able to, despite of me being at JUCO and being, less of a, less of a, recruited person, what I'm saying, to me being a JUCO player, like, what I'm saying, it kind of rubbed off of me a little, differently. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I remember
A little chip on your shoulder.
Yeah. I remember my first game, like going out there, like, cause I remember like I went from weighing like 190, 193 to like me weighing like 220 something, 230 something. So like, what I'm saying? I'm overweight, what I'm saying? But when I went to JUCO, like, I got a chance to mentally reflect on, who I was, like the player I was and what ultimately, I loved. And, what I'm saying, that was football. And, me having the ball in my hands and, playing for my family and using my God-gifted talent to, show people that, show people my love for football. And like, what I'm saying, going through JUCO, like, everything wasn't perfect, but, what I'm saying, I learned to, run through every circumstance, every situation that, what I'm saying, I'm in to, that ultimately it's going to be, bigger and brighter and better, at that extent, what I'm saying? And just really going through all the obstacles, like especially being at a military school where you got to rat walk and, what I'm saying, and do every detail, perfectly right. What I'm saying? It was kind of tough, like, what I'm saying? With me coming from Georgia. We had a lot of strict rules like at Buford, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things like that. So like, what I'm saying? I'm sure that Gabe and, Dylan knows, but, what I'm saying? It is, what I'm saying? It was really, really, a life change for me and different, what I'm saying? And, as I, been to go through everything, like, what I'm saying? It was, like I don't know how y'all want me to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it was probably
it was
A rude awakening or what? Like
a blessing in disguise
Blessing
kind of
in dis-
thing. Like you,
yeah,
like
something you needed probably in the moment.
yeah. No,
Get-
I'm saying like I don't know if y'all want me to talk about like like the actual games or like just like like personally like what I.
no, either way. Like, I just think. Do you think it was kind of like a good step for you to get you kind of where you wanted to go? Like,
Oh yeah. Like I said, like I felt like I had a chance. I got the opportunity to sit back and realize, what I was going through in life and realize that, what I could do as as an athlete. Sit back and realize what I was doing for my people and things like that. Like it was it was a deal to like that. And what I'm saying? And really just, the the thrill that football gives me.
So when like Nebraska enters the picture, was it Coach Frost that got a hold of you? Like, how did that kind of courtship happen? What did you fall in love with Nebraska right away? Did it take you some time to be like, all right, I guess I can make it work here? Like, how did it go with Nebraska coming in the picture?
When Nebraska coming in the picture, like I remember like the first year that I came in JUCO, like it was like, I was, I was, what I'm saying, I was pretty good. Like, like I had a solid year. I ran for like 810 touchdowns, what I'm saying? It was a solid year. And like, what I'm saying, I started getting notarized again, what I'm saying? And the next year that I came in, like, you know, after my first few games, like Nebraska started coming in. You know what I'm saying? I seen that red, you know, from you know what I'm saying, out in the field and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful ass red. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We know.
That mud looks amazing in that, you know what I'm saying, in that red coat. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, you know how everybody make it seem like it was a dream come true and things like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, Nebraska was showing me the most love. Like, Nebraska was giving me like the most, like, you know, insight. Like, I think Coach Cooper came to practice almost every week, like, to watch me practice. Like,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Nice.
know, like, cause coming out of high school, I had 43 offers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was highly, like,
You could have picked anywhere you wanted to go.
recruited, like, for a 3-star. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I would say I'm a very, very smart player, like, smart football player. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, from what I knew of Nebraska, like, I knew that Nebraska had a lot of tradition, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, go-getters, a lot of dogs, you know what I'm saying, like, that went here, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I just knew the tradition and opportunity that was here. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and the love, like, you know what I'm saying? Every game sold out and things like that. Like, you know, that was wild.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, what I did, like, during the season, I remember after my game that I ran for like 408 yards, like, and 5 touchdowns, I remember, like, Nebraska was just like, yeah, like.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be here tomorrow or what?
That's not bad.
First class to Lincoln, Nebraska. Come on in. So,
Oh my.
but my question, because you've had this extensive journey, and you will make a lot of Husker fans very happy or very sad. Would you change a thing, or
Would I change a thing?
would you change a thing, or did this journey make you who you are?
To be honest, like, I wouldn't change a thing, because like, I feel like, you know, every decision that I made was, you know, was ultimately the right decision.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I wouldn't. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. Like, I probably changed out some of the runs that I made. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like,
He's
but
like, I got 4. I could have got 10.
yeah, or I could have scored and I did.
Yeah.
Every choice that you've made, every run that you've made, Anthony, has led you here.
Yeah.
To this studio.
So you take that however you want.
That's kind of where I was expecting to be like, nah,
Let me ask you
so bad.
this. What is like your favorite moment at Nebraska?
My favorite moment.
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Well, it's good that you actually have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Give
not
us-
just, you know,
If you have to, give us a top 3.
Top 3.
freaking A.
All right, top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. I think 2 is in the same game, but dang,
You beat Iowa.
yeah, I beat Iowa.
Let's go.
That's got to be up there.
We beat Iowa. I didn't.
Hey,
I
it's a
didn't-
team game, but you were part of that team, so
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Thank you for that.
I couldn't beat Iowa by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I might think I can. But nah, but
Would you put that Rutgers run in there? Or is that just our
dang,
thing?
right. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm putting the records.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Rutgers run for sure.
Any spring games, fan
Ireland.
days, anything like that, or
Ireland when I
that was fun.
when I yeah, the whole Ireland game. I say the whole Ireland game. That was my first time running the ball at a Power 5. So
okay,
you know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
rad.
I got the ball 5 times at Florida State, but I ain't go nowhere. It was at the end of the game. So
Right.
you know what
Oh,
I'm saying? It was
yeah.
nothing. So then I mean, shoot.
You know, I will say there's not many Power 5 running backs that can say my first Power 5 touch was in Ireland. It's pretty cool.
Exactly.
That is
It's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Okay.
Do you remember
It
your
was
last run at
definitely worth the
Nebraska?
experience. You said what?
Do you remember your last run at Nebraska?
Do I remember my last run?
None of us
Yeah.
know this, so I was just asking.
Yes. I got the ball versus Iowa. I ain't do nothing though. And then we lost.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
geez,
wish
Mike.
I wish it was better, but you know what I'm saying?
Mike, why'd you go there, Mike?
Yeah.
We went.
We
there.
said best
My bad.
moments. Damn it.
Okay.
We're working on it.
So I guess if we're still thinking about top 3 performances or top 3 memories in
Yeah.
Nebraska, I want to ask one thing because I know Kyle, we're probably getting close to.
Yeah, we'll be wrapping up here in a couple minutes.
What was the biggest lesson you learned in Nebraska, either about football or just as a person? Like, what was that big learning experience that you got in Lincoln?
I mean, the biggest learning experience that I think that I got from like being here at Nebraska is, you know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some, but you know what I'm saying? It's always about how you stand up and you keep fighting about it. You know what I'm saying? It's always about, being better tomorrow than you were today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And a legacy that you leave behind. There's a lot of people in the chat of the 175 people that are currently watching that love themselves some Anthony Grant. So you've left a good legacy here in Nebraska.
AG.
Ready?
You think of another good cool moment? You know what? Okay, this is just me, dude. I mean, your game against North Dakota was amazing. Like some of those runs that you had. I mean, you looked. I think we threw out the name Amir Abdullah a few times because you looked like Amir.
We did.
Oh yeah.
Running down the sidelines, juking people. You know, that's besides the Rutgers thing. I think that's what stands out to me the most is you looked really, really good in that game. And I know that's just that kernel that'll stick in my mind with you.
All right.
That's just me though.
Yeah. Nah, North Dakota was definitely a spark for me.
Yeah.
It was definitely a game that I felt like I just I unleashed the beast. Like,
Look, if you didn't
Like,
play
I'm better than these guys. Let's go show it.
if you didn't play as well as you did, that game. Listen, I mean, I know Nebraska won, obviously, but
Could
it
have been
was pretty close.
could have been dicey.
So
Without you.
I'm just saying, like a lot of people might write that off, but thank God we won that game. And
yeah,
I think AG had a big part in that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like I really got my feet under myself that game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a good time. Tell the listeners, like I said, we've got 170 some people in here watching us. Tell the listeners kind of what you're doing now, where they can follow you or find you, and then we'll wrap up.
All right. Shoot. I mean, as of right now, like, shoot, I'm still, I still got my my options open and things like that.
That's good.
I'm trying to stay down, but like,
Still working.
yeah. I mean, for the most part, I'm still chasing, the NFL or the UFL, you know what I'm saying, whichever order. But the main thing is the NFL, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to live out my lifelong dream.
Mhm.
Shoot, so as of right now, I'm still chasing it. I'm still working out. But I think I'm gonna go to California to play for for the most part. Like, I'm probably gonna get a season in with the Bay Area Panthers,
Nice.
and then most likely we'll get a chance. You know what I'm saying? At the
Yeah.
UFL,
An opportunity.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
At the NFL.
Yeah.
I feel like I got the talent. I feel like I got the mindset. That, I feel like I still got it. Period.
Well, I hope
You
you
know
get it.
what I'm saying?
Wherever you end up, you've got at least 4 guys in here. We'll be rocking your jerseys. So.
Yeah. Well, so I was gonna ask, is like we got a lot of room on this wall behind us over here.
Oh yeah, that's lit.
We get an Anthony Grant jersey. You sign it so we can frame it and put it behind
Yeah,
us?
we'll put it on here. We'll put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
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 There was somebody in the chat like right when we first started. It was Husker David. He goes, "Heard Grant's got something cooking in the background right now. Where's he headed?" So
Yeah.
hey, you know what? We'll see. We'll see where he's headed from here.
But don't worry, you've got a lifelong fan base that will follow you no matter where you end up, whether it's in football or wherever else you choose. We just appreciate you wearing the end and, of course, spending your time here with us tonight.
Most definitely.
Yes, we will. Listen, whether you like it or not, we're gonna claim you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna claim,
You are ours.
I'm gonna claim y'all too.
Careful what you wish for.
Hey, again, we want to thank you for coming on. Taking the time out, and we wish you luck on all your future endeavors, get into the league,
Most definitely.
getting that jersey of yours, man.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Hey, go Big Red, forever a Husker.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
Once a Husker,
Big
always
love.
a Husker. Hey, guys,
Big love.
NBNRpodcast.com. Go there. We got a whole bunch of stuff there for you. You know, all the social media platforms. Seriously, like all of them, except for freaking Threads. We're on all those. Same handle, NBNR Podcast. Give us a follow. Give us a 5-star review. La, 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 la.
All that stuff.
Okay. I was like, should we do scoring predictions? But I feel like we're
Nah,
not
I think we're good.
I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Connor Cadillac.
Kyle Byers.
AG.
As always, beat USC. Get Lincoln Riley fired. And GBR.